Good morning to you all, my dear students. Let's continue our chapter Working of Institution. In previous videos, we have discussed about the working of Parliament, functions of Parliament, and its houses, and the composition of the houses. In this video, we will discuss about the political and permanent executives. First of all, what do you mean by executives? Executives are the functionaries who take day to day decisions. They take day to day decisions but do not exercise supreme power. They do not have supreme power on the behalf of the people. They are called executives because they are in charge of the execution of the policies of the government. So, we can talk about the government. We usually mean the executive. These executives are of two types: political executives and permanent executives. Political executives are elected by the people for specified period of time, like normally for 5 years. All MPs and MLAs come in this category. And permanent executives are appointed on long term basis, and these are appointed by the government. All the civil services come under this, and person working in civil services are called civil servants. Now we will discuss about political executives have more power than the non-political executives. Why? In a democracy, the will of people is supreme, and the political executives are elected by the people, and all the political executives are answerable to the people, and the people can change them if they do not work according to the wishes of the people. The civil servants are usually more educated and has more expert knowledge of the subject, but they are only advisor of finance ministry. And the non-political executives are experts, yet they have to see the welfare. They have to see the only policies of the government. And the expert can tell the route. They can tell the route. Experts means permanent executives can tell only the route, but the political executives have a larger view, so they decide the destination. So in this way, we can say that the political executives have more power than the non-political executives. So we have discussed about the two types of executive: political executive and non-political executives. Now we will discuss about the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, which work as an institution. The Prime Minister is appointed by the President. In reality, the Prime Minister is the leader of majority party or coalition parties in Lok Sabha. He or she is elected as such by the party or party's MPs, and the President has to invite him to form the government. And actually, political parties put up their prime ministerial candidate in the general elections. And practically, the entire strength of 67 crore electorates is thus psychologically involved in the election of the prime ministerial candidates. Now, what are the powers and functions and position of the Prime Minister? We will discuss about the powers of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister and his relation with the President. First of all, we will talk about this. The Prime Minister is the line of communication between cabinet and the president. Means he is the link between cabinet minister and the president. The prime minister advises the president to summon the parliament and dissolve the Lok Sabha. And the prime minister advises the president in appointing or removing the high officials also. Now let's discuss about the prime minister and his relationship with the council of ministers. The council of ministers is headed by the prime minister. Prime minister is the head of council of ministers. These ministers are of three types: cabinet minister, minister of states with independent charge, and minister of states. Now, who are cabinet minister? These are usually top level leaders of ruling party or parties who are in charge of major ministries. And minister of state with independent charge are the ministers who are usually in charge of smaller ministries, and they participate in the cabinet meetings only when specially invited. And the minister of states assist the cabinet minister and minister of states. And it is essential for the member of council of ministers to be member of either house of the parliament. So these were the categories of the ministers: cabinet minister, minister of state with independent charge, and minister of state. And the ministers are individually responsible for their ministries and departments, and this responsibility is enforced through the prime minister. And the council of ministers is collectively responsible for and accountable to the Lok Sabha also, and it remains in power so long as it enjoys the support of majority in the Lok Sabha. We have already discussed about the non-confidence motion. We have read about this in 7th and 8th class also. If there is no confidence motion is passed, the entire council of ministers has to go. So the council of ministers owes collective responsibility for all the decisions taken by it. So these were the categories of the ministers. We have discussed about the two types of executives: permanent executive and political executive, and the function of prime minister. We will discuss next part in our next video. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.